Hi, in this module, we are going to see how to use Excel with Interface. Excel can be a very easy way to import data in Interface. It can make you save quite a lot of time while building an experience which contains lists of items to present or many scenes which would have a very similar layout. It will also enable you to load data stored locally on your composer or player device, meaning once the experience has been deployed on the player, it can run offline. Here is some important information. Unless you receive the Excel file from a colleague or a customer, you will probably need to have Microsoft Excel installed on your Composer PC to create and edit the Excel file during your experience creation process. Meanwhile, player devices will not need to have Microsoft Excel installed to read the Excel files you will have embedded in your interface experiences. This means the feature is available on all the platforms supported by Interface Player. First, let's see how to create an Excel file to be used with an interface. There is actually one single rule to follow when creating an Excel file to be used in Interface. The first row here needs to contain your column titles. That's it. After this, each row will contain the information about one item that you want to display in collections in Interface. Each cell can contain text, numbers, color codes, or references to media files. It could be online path, like a URL to a web page, or relative path to media stored locally on your device, which will be embedded in the interface experience. For instance, in this column, we have images in a folder named Images, and then the name of the file. As you can see in Windows Explorer, this is our Excel file. This is the Images folder in which we have the 4 images. Warning here, although the file names are not case sensitive on the Windows platform, they are case sensitive on all the other platforms supported by Interface Player. So be careful when naming your files and referencing them in your Excel file. Your Excel file can have as many sheets as you need, and you can import as many Excel files as you want in your interface experience. In this case, we have our main list here of paintings, and we do have another list of the different years, and we will use that later in the video. Note that you can also use some formulas in your Excel file, and depending on the platform you are targeting, the supported formulas list might be a little bit different. Please refer to this Help Center article, How to Use Excel Formulas, for more information. Now let's import this Excel file and its associated content, the images, into our experience. In the background is the experience in which we want to display the list of paintings. In the foreground here, Windows Explorer is our Excel file and the folder containing images. The easiest way to import the Excel file and the content is actually to just drag and drop the Excel directly in the scene. Because our Excel file references some files, Composer will ask you, do you want to import these files? Let's do it. Click on Import. Composer will actually create one collection for each sheet you have in this Excel file. In this case, we have the paintings here. Let's focus on this one. And the list of years. Let's delete this for the moment. You can notice here in the Interface Assets panel that we have a new category named with the name of your Excel file, and then you have one new interface asset for each sheet of your Excel file, paintings and years here. During the import process, Composer actually created a copy of the Excel file and of all the media files referenced in this Excel file. If you do a right-click on paintings or years and click on Open File Location, you will actually see that the new Excel file, the new copy, is embedded within your Experience folder, Files, Interface Assets, and a new folder being named after the name of your Excel file. If you wish to edit your file while working on your experience, this is the Excel file you need to edit, not the one which is in your original folder, maybe in a Dropbox or Google Drive shared folder with your graphic designers. Another way to make sure you are editing the right file is actually to do a right-click, Edit in Excel. This will automatically open your file in Microsoft Excel, and that will be the right file to edit. You can see here that Composer created a default data template for the items of our paintings list. Every column we had is now represented as a text, except for the last one where Composer guessed this looks like an image. Let's put an image asset instead. Please refer to the other module named Data Templates in this course to learn how to transform this default data template into this. Compared to the other data feeds that you may have seen in this course, the Excel interface asset has a very special feature, the filters. If you remember the data we have in our list of paintings, we do have this column named Year, which contains the year in which the painting was actually made. Thanks to the filtering mechanism of Excel, we can add a button here which will show us, for example, all the paintings made in 1888. So on the button, let's add a trigger, which will call an action on our data source, on this Excel interface asset. You can see here all the actions available on the Excel interface asset. That includes some editing functions like adding, updating, or deleting cells or rows, and the one which we are going to use right now, adding a filter. You can select on which column of your Excel file you want to apply the filter. In our case, we want to filter on the year, and we want to see only the paintings where the year is equal to 1888. Now, if you have just a couple of buttons, you can work manually this way. But if you have more, let's say, categories of filtering criteria, this is where you can use an additional list, an additional data source to automatically generate this list of buttons. Let's replace this single button with this list of all the years we have in our years list. Now on this button, which is the data template for every single year we have in our list, if we open the action, instead of using a manually entered value here as a value for the filter, you can dynamically get the value from the years list. And we have only one column, which is the year. One trigger, one action, you can have 3 entries in this list. You can have 20 of them. If we test our work in play mode, we can see that there were 2 paintings made in 88, one in 89, and one in 1890. If you want to learn more about all the usages you can do with Excel and Interface, just do a search for Excel in our Help Center and you will see almost 100 articles about that.